In this video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that is conveniently avoided by every single online guru out there, everyone who's trying to help you build an online business. And that is why it's so hard to actually build a successful online business, an online coaching business in Europe. Because everyone is talking about the US, everyone's talking about sell to the US market. Those guys have money, they are entrepreneurial, but no one's talking about how in Europe it is completely different. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through my journey and my client's journey because I have a growth partner agency where I directly work in businesses of online coaches and consultants and help them scale their offer from the inside. And in this done for you service, obviously, I've served a lot of people, and a lot of them have been from Europe. And one of the key differences between Europe and the US is that Europe is not talked about whatsoever. Whenever you hear a strategy from Alex Hormozi, whenever you hear something that is working in the US market and you try to implement it here in Europe, it just doesn't seem to hit. You have your irresistible offer, you have your sales frameworks, and for some reason, these people that you're talking to are just completely different. They seem to be close-minded, they seem to be more anxious, they seem to be more depressed, and then you're just like, well, if I get all this info from people in the US space, what do I do with it? Because there's no one guiding me through the process on how to apply it in Europe. What if you're from the UK? What if you're from Austria? What if you're from Germany, France? How do you sell an info product in these places? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about that. And the reason I have the authority to talk about this is because, again, I work with these people one-on-one. In the process of doing so, for example, working with Martin, he is a Slovenian content agency owner. And working with him in just 11 days, we managed to generate 11K. And for Ollie, now, by the way, Martin is at 25K per month. Then Ollie, UK appointment setting coach, he is currently making 60 grand per month with his appointment setting business. He started at 18. And then I can also give you the example of Nicholas, who went from 0 to 10K per month in 30 days, then built himself a 50K per month online coaching business and exam preparation coaching in Austria. So by running all of these businesses, I have realized that when online gurus tell you to do something, when Iman Gadzhi or Charlie Morgan, when all these guys tell you to do something, typically it's optimized for a certain person at a certain stage in their business. But what if you are just not here? What if you're just here? It's not necessarily worse that you are not living in the US, but it is different. And therefore, they are giving advice to this person over here, but you have completely other problems to deal with. Let's say you're starting your content agency and people are solving systematic problems for you. So what you should say. But your problem is not what you should say. Your problem is how you should say it, because you cannot articulate well enough in English. Your problem is your English skill that no one helps you address because they are just simply native English speakers. So let's say you are from Germany. If you cannot talk English and you're stumbling upon your words, that's going to be a huge hurdle that no one is talking about. And so you need completely different solutions. Let's say that you are from a Slavic country. If you're from a Slavic country and not from the US, you have completely different mindset principles and limiting beliefs that a normal US-based person would not have. Let's say because you are too cautious when it comes to interacting with people. You're too suspicious of people, and therefore you're unable to reach out to them. You're unable to create content because you believe that other people are judging you much more than they actually are. And that is a cultural background. It makes it just more likely that you have this problem. And so it is not that the advice of these online gurus is not great. It is more of like it is for a different kind of person. And they are not solving your problems. They are solving this person's problems, but not your problems. So when I got into online business, I was immediately buying all the courses of this US-based people and seeing all the Loom outreach strategies that I should do, all the content strategies that I should run, just post raw and authentic content. Well, I cannot be authentic in English because I cannot express my emotions. How can I be authentic if I cannot articulate myself? I cannot be authentic. Everything is engineered because the English language is just not under my control. I'm a Hungarian. I'm half Hungarian, half German. How would I articulate myself in English? Obviously now I am better, but back in the day it was horrible, right? Like no authenticity in that whatsoever. So again, that strategy, create authentic content, it just doesn't work for me. And therefore, I started to realize after spending $40,000 in online mentorships on these mentors, I started to realize that these mentorships were just not meant for me. I mean, sure, I learned how to do step 3, 4, and 5 once I finally took care of this, but I never did steps 1 and 2, and therefore I could never leverage the progress that steps 3, 4, and 5 would have given me. Because if your foundation is messed up and it's not existent, then you have the ladder taken care of, the stairs already perfectly marbled over here, but you cannot just jump there, right? You need to take steps 1, 2 to get to step 3, 4, and 5. And steps 1 and 2 for me were articulating myself in English and being able to confidently present myself in the English language. Like, that was my biggest hurdle. And so when I started realizing this, I started looking for people. I started looking for advice from people who were in similar situations to me, or who I believed viscerally understood where I came from, and not just from afar try to sell me how they understood, but in reality they just handed me a course. And so when I actually found people one-on-one that were able to relate to my situation, I unlocked the growth that I would have never seen before, because they didn't just give me business advice. I already knew all the business strategies. They gave me life advice. They gave me life coaching. And it is life coaching that actually took me to the next level. It is not business coaching. Business coaching gave me the knowledge, but the knowledge is just nothing. The knowledge is potential. The application, the implementation of that knowledge is what makes it real. And the implementation does not happen within the realm of business. It happens within the realm of life. It happens by executing, how you execute, who you are, what your identity is. So this is what made the difference for me. The way that this influenced then my client delivery and the way that I work with clients is that I start with the human, I start with the person, I start with where they are exactly, start by identifying that. It's not just a random discovery or a qualifying that would then make it easier for me to sell them on my service. No, it is a process of, okay, where are you actually? What are the factors, the variables that are currently limiting you? And what does your potentially culture have to do with that? Because there are things that you don't even dare question, because you have lived your whole life in, let's say, Lithuania. You have lived your whole life in, let's say, Poland. Like, if you lived your whole life there, then there are things that you don't even dare question. You believe they are normal, but they're not normal. They are limiting you. So this is how I work with people. Like, for example, when it comes to working with Ollie, he's a person from the UK, so he has stuff in his culture that is representative of people in the UK. And I can say that without being overly generalizing the stereotypes, because I just see that. I interact with other people from the UK as well. Now, when I work with Martin, he has his Slovenian background, and that is also completely different to deal with. Now, when I'm working with, for example, Austrians, again, same thing. So this is the way that I change my own delivery. And when I work with people, I also tell them to, hey, I know that there is leverage in standardization, but there is even more leverage in customization, because in that you customize for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, you determine how you're going to talk to that person, because you establish what their beliefs are, what their core limitations are, and you really realize how they are able to receive the message that you want to relate to them. Once you take those 5 minutes, everything that you do afterwards will be so much more effective. Like, all of your one-on-one calls, all of your courses that you create is just going to hit a lot harder. And so this is how I've personally adjusted my client delivery, and what I tell my clients how they should adjust their own client delivery. So this is essentially all for the video. If you agree with this, you can, for example, go down below and follow me on Instagram. Or alternatively, if you have an online coaching and consulting business and you would like to scale that, I have a growth partner agency called High Day Media, where we work with people done for you. But I also have a mastermind group for people that cannot afford the done for you version, because it comes with a substantial upfront investment, whereas with this is more affordable. So if you want to do that, then you can go down below and check out the first link in the description and potentially watch my VSL, opt in. But if not, you can just follow me on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.